Salute to those who win over themselves. To truly understand the meaning of endurance and commitment, immerse yourself deeply in the mind and intellect. Listen to this experience of David Goggins. The reality of the first day, David says that to join the Navy SEALs, I had to lose about 50 kilograms in 2 months. My plan was to eat very little, drink water all day, and exercise like crazy. David says that on the first day, I was very excited. I decided to run about 3 miles, which is about 5 kilometers. Before starting the run, my mind was fully focused. David says, I was committed to finding the greatness inside of me. I set the timer on my watch and started running. But after 400 meters, I was so out of breath that I stopped and went back home. David says that every step was filling me with disappointment. I was extremely angry with myself because I had become so unfit that I couldn't even run half a kilometer. I came home, sat on the sofa, and started eating milkshakes and chocolate donuts to drown my sorrow. David says that I then started crying because if I couldn't even walk, how would I lose weight in 2 months? The dream of becoming a Navy SEAL seemed impossible. David says that at that time a lifetime of negativity and insecurity began to overwhelm me. I started feeling like the people who insulted me were absolutely right, those who doubted me were completely justified. I won't be able to change my life, I won't be able to do anything, I was going to be a nobody. I was just about to give up when I found an old Rocky cassette. I put it in the VCR and went straight to the last round of the final fight, where the hero Rocky is getting beaten up and knocked out. The coach says, give up, you've proven yourself, don't get up now, but Rocky doesn't give up. Seeing Rocky's determination, even the world champion Apollo Creed gets shaken. David says I turned off the TV and thought about my life. There was no drive or passion in my life. David realized that if I kept surrendering to every weakness and fear, I would never be able to escape them for the rest of my life. I had only one option, to use the same emotions that were causing me pain and holding me back to break free. David says I threw the milkshake in the trash, put on my shoes, and went out to run again. Soon, my lungs and knees started hurting a lot, as if someone had put a hot knife inside. But this time, I didn't stop, and after a while the pain subsided, and I completed 5 kilometers. David says I realized for the first time, the first lesson, all mental and physical limits are not real. David realized that until now, I had been giving up too soon in my life. Now I can't do that. David says that I learned the greatest lesson of my life, not from any book but by pushing my limits to the very end. Lesson number 1. All mental and physical limits are not real. David realized that until now I had been giving up too soon in my life. Now I can't do that. David says that I learned the greatest lesson of my life not from any book but by pushing my limits to the very end. Lesson number 2. After many bad days, a day of victory will come because the goal is very big. David says that after the first day of running, I realized that every day is going to be harder and harder for me. I am going to fail every day. Every day will test my commitment because my goal is impossible, very big. David says that I learned that sometimes hope will break, sometimes there will be shame, sometimes I will feel that I can't do it, sometimes it will feel like nothing is changing. Still, you have to keep going every day because your goal is very big. This is called endurance and commitment. And endurance and commitment don't feel good and are not easy. David says I learned after succeeding. Lesson number 3. Bad days make you successful. We think that bad days hold you back, but if you are committed, bad days make you successful because the next day, you are hungrier to do better. And this increased hunger or desire attracts success to you. Friends, I don't want to motivate you, but I want to bring this awareness to your consciousness. If you ever feel doubts, if you ever complain to yourself, don't be afraid of them. They are signs of endurance and commitment. Use them. David says, I started doing 2 things. I started flipping these emotions. Lesson number 4, flip the emotion. I explained to myself that I am complaining to myself today and feeling self-doubt because I am about to become something. There is a mission in my life, so there are also some difficulties. David says that along with this, I would call my mentor and tell him about my training and progress. Next lesson, lesson number 5, flip the mistakes into workouts. David says that in one workout I had to do a total of 112 pull-ups, but in the last set, I did 11 instead of 12 because I was very tired. I came home, but I couldn't eat. I went back to the gym and did the full 112 pull-ups, then came back and slept peacefully. After this, I turned my defeat, my mistake, into a lesson, into a big victory. David says that after this, whenever I found myself taking shortcuts, I would do the full workout again. Friends, if you wasted an hour today, then instead of 1 hour, study for 2 hours. If you got up half an hour late, do double revision today. Turn your mistakes into workouts the same day. When I think about commitment and endurance, I remember Swami Vivekananda's quote. Swami Vivekananda said that the battlefield is vast, but we will win inch by inch. Inch by inch we will gain ground. This is the true meaning of endurance. Lesson number 1 for endurance. All mental and physical limits are not real. When you go beyond fear and pain, you realize this, and slowly, this pain also subsides. Lesson number 2. After many bad days, a day of victory will come because the goal is very big. Lesson number 3. Bad days make you successful because if you are truly committed, bad days increase your desire to win. Lesson number 4. Flip the emotions. Whenever you feel that something or some emotion is holding you back, use that emotion and ask yourself, if I can't let go of this emotion, how much damage will it cause me? And using the energy of that emotion, take action. Lesson number 5. Flip the mistakes into workouts. Turn your mistakes into workouts. Swami Vivekananda says that if a person feels he is impure, he loses mental agility and willpower.